What is up, guys? So today we're going to go through my A.C.R.O. It's not actually an A.C.R.O. It's just my criminal record. I guess my solicitor must have asked for this for court and just give me a copy of it. I forgot I had it, to be honest. And I found it yesterday. I was tidying my bedroom up, you know, as you do, getting rid of old junk and stuff. And I found my birth certificate. That was a bonus. I was convinced I'd buried it in the garden when I was off my head on Valium, but yeah, I found it in one of the drawers, so I might be able to get this channel monetized now. And I found this, and it's not my entire criminal history. It's from 1990 to 2008, and it's all drug related, well, mostly drug related, apart from the very first burglary is what I'm going to talk about. And I thought I'd just go through it. I was just amazed how many charges there is. When Stongun saw the breadth of his domain, he wept, for there were no more shops to conquer. I stole from all of them. And yeah, just something a little bit different and just go through it. Obviously, I've covered up all the grassing and all the woman beating and all. Oh God, it sounds weird. It feels weird just joking about that. Obviously, there's no stuff like that in it, which can't be said for like 90% of people on YouTube. But anyway, it starts off like 1990. Reprimand, caution, which is typical of any drug addict, because most of this is drug related. And when you first start, you get away with it. You get like a fine, then you get a reprimand, a caution. I don't know if they still do them. And then you start getting probation, and then you'll breach that. They'll give you community service, and if you breach that, then that's when you start getting prison, and that's what happened with me. But before I got on drugs, I ended up with a burglary and theft, non-dwelling, and that was a shed. When I was drunk, you know, I was always a follower back when I was a kid. I was stupid as fuck, very immature, and went out drinking, getting drunk all the time, trying to impress people, making them laugh. So I was kind of like a class clown. I was always doing stupid things, and we robbed this shed, somebody's shed, middle of the day. It was open. I just walked in and nicked like a strimmer or something, and someone came out shouting, and I was just laughing, running with this lawnmower, thinking I was hilarious. And they phoned the police, and I got locked up. But they did me for a dwelling, an occupied dwelling, because the shed was attached to the side of the house, and that was a real bad charge back then. And it wasn't an occupied dwelling at all. There were people in the house, but it was a shed. It wasn't a house. But anyway, they stitched me up, and I must have got a probation order for 1 year, breached that, and then order revoked, and I got 8 months in prison. Yeah, 8 months in prison. Oh no, 6 months in prison, 4 months and 2 months, Young Offenders Institute. Oh, that was it. I got 6 months and I lost 2 months because for writing my name on a wall. They sent me to HMYOI Hatfield, which is an open prison. I went to Doncaster, which is, back then it was like a Cat A YOI prison. I was only there for like a week, and then they sent me to Hatfield Open Prison. And I did my sentence there, and it was quite an easy jail. It was like a borstal. It was run like a borstal, but it wasn't violent like a borstal, you know. But it was an open prison. You could just walk out if you wanted to. And I did that sentence, what seemed like it took forever, which usually the case with the smaller sentences. And I always remember when I first got out, the first ever time I'd got out of prison, it's a beautiful feeling. I can still remember the smell of the fresh air, and it was almost worth doing that time in prison just to get that feeling of getting out. No, it wasn't. Definitely wasn't. But yeah, that's my first sentence. And then after that, that's when I got addicted to heroin. Ended up homeless, and that's when all these millions of thefts start. I mean, straight away, 8 thefts, shoplifting, 1 month, 3 month, 2 month, 2 month, 2 month, 1 month, 2 month, 2 months. And that was 1996. 97, possession, control, drug, theft, shoplifting, failing to surrender, 12 months, probation order. They used to do DTTOs, drug treatments and testing orders, where they would put you on probation, they would drug test you like once a week, and so long as you did what you're supposed to do, then you'd get out of going to prison. But You know, they're just giving you the rope to hand yourself. If you're an addict and you're not ready to get clean, you're not gonna. But yes, shoplifting, 12-month probation. What's that for? Possession of controlled drug, forfeiture, confiscation, and destruction of heroin. Well, that's a waste of good drugs, isn't it? Yeah, of course, I got done for possession. I was a heroin addict. You need it to function. Theft, possession, controlled drug, theft, imprisonment, 2 month, 2 month, 2 month, 2 month, 2 month. Jesus. Imprisonment 2 month, failing to surrender. See, I get 2 months in prison just for not going to court. These days, you can kill someone and not go to prison. Failing to surrender, 1 month. See what I mean? Just back then, you went to prison if you broke the law. You went to jail. If I'd have done this these days, they probably wouldn't even get arrested. They just let me go. Theft, conditional discharge, probation. So they're constantly putting me on probation. I'm constantly failing probation, and then constantly going to prison. Theft, failing to surrender, imprisonment 1 month. Theft 3 month, 3 month, 3 month, 1 month. Theft again, 7 days imprisonment. That was probably that box of chocolates what I stole. I actually got prison for stealing a box of Dairy Milk. Possession of drugs again, imprisonment 3 month consecutive. See, 3 months for possession of heroin. Like I said, these days you wouldn't even get it. Theft, imprisonment 2 month, 2 month. That's all my sentences, like 2 month, 3 month, 2 month. And then finally 2002. This is when I changed from shoplifting because I was fed up going out and just shoplifting, getting locked up, sitting in the cells. You know, I was getting locked up like twice a week, and I was in the cells more often than not. And when I was homeless, I kind of welcomed the cell because I could have a shower there. It was like everybody in the police cell knew me. They all knew who I was. And as soon as I came in, I would say, they knew what I wanted. 2 hot chocolate with an all-day breakfast. And then I'd say, can I have a shower? Because when you're homeless, you can't have a shower, you know. And it's embarrassing for me to talk about, but it's the truth. When you're homeless, showering is not that high on your priority. So you have to do it when you can. And what I used to do is the Doncaster Dome used to have a gym with like an open shower where people could just walk in. You weren't really supposed to go in there, but I would just walk in and jump in the shower. And if you go to a mate's house, you say, oh, can I jump in shower? So you just get it where you can. In fact, I've got a little bit of like trauma from that. Now I'm clean. I'm not as bad now, but when I first got clean, what I used to do is, and it might sound mad, but you know, it's just the way I think. I used to wake up every morning because of all them years where I wasn't like showering every day. I was trying to make up for it, so I would wake up and I would put bleach in hot water and bleach my entire body. And I used to do this religiously. And then I saw a documentary about it, and you're not supposed to do it because you can ruin your skin. So I stopped doing that. And I started using just tons of bottles of sanitizer and just do that all over my body, you know. And it was my probation officer, my key worker, drugs worker that noticed it, because every time I went past it I was like, you know, and she says, have you got OCD? And I said, no, I don't think so. And they kind of explored it a bit more, and I still do it now, but not as obsessive as what I was when I first started. But that's just trauma from addiction, you know. People don't realise all this sort of stuff that goes on in people's heads. They just think when you've been on drugs you get clean and off you go, you know. They don't realise that you've left with PTSD and shame and embarrassment and just mental problems. But yeah, and then I stopped. I was going shoplifting all the time, and then I switched it. I thought, I've got to stop doing this. I'm just in the police cells all the fucking time. So what I did, I switched it to doing commercial burglaries. And I'm not glorifying this, you know, I'm deeply embarrassed and ashamed, but it's part of my life, so that's why I talk about it. And just to show you where I was at. And what I used to do was I used to get a scruffy old briefcase. I used to put a scruffy old shirt on and slick my hair back, and I'd try and look like the world's scruffiest businessman. And I would be skinny as though, my big nose poking out, my fucking cheekbones poking out, with my hair slicked back with a shirt and tie and a briefcase, and I would walk into like office blocks, and I would walk up and down, and when you've got the attire, you know, like if I went in normal clothes, they'd just fucking get out, be gone. But when you've got like you know, when you dress like a businessman, they don't even look twice at you. It's just, they'll just have a quick glance, as long as you've got shirt on and tie. So I would just walk into places, and I'd just walk up and down the hallways, and if there was an empty office with a laptop, I'd run in and grab it, and I would never get caught doing it. It was always afterwards on camera, like what's happened here. They would have me on camera for like 7 burglaries, and then when they finally catch me for like a shoplifting or something, that's when they'd hit me with all 7 burglary charges, and that's what happened here. And I ended up getting 3 year 9 month in 2002, and I spoke about that, where I went. You know, I was in Doncaster for ages because they messed my paperwork up, and then I went to a Ramby, then got kicked out of Ramby, and that's when I started doing these commercial non-dwelling. See, it's burglary and theft, because it's burglary because you're entering the property, and it's only theft because I'm only nicking like laptops and stuff. But yeah, 3 months, 4 months, 3 months. So the prison is a little bit longer, but I would only get caught like twice. You know, before I was getting caught like twice a week. Now I'd get caught like twice every 2 months or something. But you do get longer prison sentences. Like before it was 2 months, now it's 6 months, 3 months, 4 months. Yeah, and then there's 2003, burglary and theft, drug treatment orders, burglary and theft. And what people also don't realise is, when you get clean, you've got all this stuff what people can just check. You know, that's why I do YouTube, and I'm completely honest with everything I say. Sometimes it's embarrassing, you know, but it's the truth. And people can't like go back and say, oh well, you said this, or you know, they can't catch me in a lie. And if I'm like, if you're open and honest, then you're not gonna like get a job and then turn up one day and say, oh well, look, you've got all these charges for burglary and stuff where you never told me about. You know, I just tell them straight away, yeah, I've got a really bad past, but I'm trying to live a better life now. And there's another one, burglary and theft, Donny Crown Court, 2 years, 12 months. Breach of a community order for burglary and theft. Community order. Theft, shoplifting. So I must have gone back to shoplifting. And yeah, and that brings us up to 2008. So it's not my entire criminal conviction. It's just a big part of it. But yeah, that's what you have to live with, you know, once you get clean. That's why I always talk about my past, saying I've caused a lot of damage, I've caused a lot of misery because I did. And that's what drug addicts do. Not all drug addicts, I can only speak for myself, but it made me into a horrible thief. I pride myself on honesty now. You know, now I'm clean. I live a very honest life. But when I was on drugs, I didn't care. I didn't care about anyone. I didn't care about me. I didn't care who I hurt. I didn't care about nothing. All I cared about was drugs. And it's 24 hours, you know. It's as soon as you wake up, you get like a little tear going down the side of your eye. You're not crying. You're just starting to detox. As soon as you wake up, you need money. Then you start rapid fire sneezing and yawning, and you can't be asked to do out, but you've got to go out and get money, and that's when the desperation kicks in, you know. But anyway, that's the video for today. So that's Stun Guns A.C.R.O, or at least criminal past, and it's not all of it, but a big part of it. 15 pages, man. Just a prolific thief. If you like this video, press the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, Mange 2, YouTube, Mange 2.